If you like to talk about combat sports and you want to join the discussion, click the subscribe button below and the bell notification icon next to it and join Knucklehead Nation.
You finished swallowing the Oreo?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, I'm here, the perfect guy to talk about the ADCC Championship with none other than Chad the Savage George. Chad, thank you so much for the whiskey. Always a pleasure. Hopefully I can keep it together long enough to conduct this interview. It looked like a fantastic event, man. It looked like the same guys you've been telling me about in that Fight to Win did the production. Looked like a beautiful event, man. Just give me your thoughts on the event.
This year's ADCC was incredible. Seth Daniels, who puts on Fight to Win, his team, they've always put on some of the best events in jiu-jitsu, professional jiu-jitsu period. And the fact that ADCC gave him the opportunity to take the reins on this was the best decision that not only could happen for ADCC, but for professional jiu-jitsu. It was incredible.
And it happened right here, man. It was Long Beach, Walter Pyramid. Why weren't you there?
I wanted to be there so bad. I've had guys fighting all over. We were in Guadalajara Friday night. We had to come back. We had Bellator on Saturday. The prelims and quarterfinals for ADCC were Saturday. Finals were on Sunday. And I literally had no sleep in almost 4 days. So I spent the time in bed, and I'd wake up just to watch Flow Grappling, to watch the event play out. And there was just... it was everything that you wanted out of ADCC, from the competitors, from the event, that all of us know. Like us as jiu-jitsu practitioners, we know that event, the magnitude of it and the impact it has. But the way the event's being put together now, it's where people can see it on a global scale and just say, holy shit, this is something truly special.
So for the layman who's not really into, jiu-jitsu, I mean, you were basically telling me that it's like the Olympics of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, ADCC is the Olympics for jiu-jitsu. Basically, it only happens every 2 years. You have to qualify for it. And when you qualify, they have the 16 of the best grapplers on the planet per weight class that go to fight for the prestigious ADCC world title.
And so there's a weight class kind of, I guess, title or prize, but then there's also a separate division where it's just like every weight class, absolute,
it's called the absolute,
right?
Yeah,
okay,
the absolute.
Okay.
So you've got your weight class, which is, it's an honor just to be on the stage.
Yeah.
To place is something else. To win it is a whole nother incredible accomplishment. And then you've got the guys that do the absolute.
And one guy won the gold in both divisions, I guess?
Yeah, Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan won it in his weight class and the absolute. He's just, Gordon is, as much as people don't like him because the way he talks shit, he's something special, man. Like, he's a younger kid. I think Gordon's only 24 years old, so he's young. He's only been doing jiu-jitsu, I think, 6 years, and he understands his stuff. He's strong, he's big, and he gets it. He understands jiu-jitsu, he understands strategy. His team, all they do is break things down and dissect it, and I think if he's not already, he's going to be the greatest of all time.
Wow. What's it about Gordon Ryan that makes him so special? Well,
he just gets it.
Yeah.
He gets it. He's a big guy, so that helps a lot. Yeah. But he's got a phenomenal team. He's under John Danaher, the Danaher Death Squad. And he's got some of the greatest guys out there. He's got Gordon Ryan. He's got Nicky Ryan. He is Gordon Ryan. He's got Gary Tonin. They've got this new kid, Nicky Rodriguez. Blue belt, just ran through everybody.
Oh, man, I heard about that.
So they've got all, and that's only a fraction, guys. People don't know. It's like, you want to talk about MMA, their jiu-jitsu coach coaches GSP.
I see.
You know what I mean? So they've got the best guys in the world that are there on a daily basis. So they're always dissecting everything. And Gordon lives in the gym. He travels a long ways to get the training, and he's determined to be the greatest, and he's on the path for it.
You mentioned to me his technique is like flawless. For the untrained eye, you're a black belt. You understand this better than I do, or people that are not really into jiu-jitsu. What are like some things you can point out and you can say that's what's making him the best?
You could watch Gordon Ryan and it looks like he's not trying. like where you watch the other guys and you can see them, they're forcing positions, they're fighting for positions, and it's just when he does it, it looks so effortless, and you literally watch and go, why didn't that guy stop it? But then you realize the person that you're asking, you're like why, that was so basic.
Yeah.
But he's doing it to a multiple world champion. He's doing it to a guy that nobody's been able to sweep. He's doing it to a guy that's had a long reigning championship like crown. And his execution is just, it's something else.
And it's not something like a boxing match or an MMA fight where you can kind of prepare for one guy, right? Because it's like a tournament style.
It's funny. It is a tournament style, but everybody's preparing for Gordon.
I see. And he's still just wiping everybody out like that.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
It's something to behold.
Now, he was a heavyweight, right? He's a heavyweight?
I think he was light heavy.
Oh, okay.
But he smashed all the heavyweights in the absolute.
My goodness. You were telling me about another guy.
Yeah, Nicky Rod. It's also his teammate. He's a college wrestler. He was a blue belt. Went out there and beat some of the best black belt world champions as a blue belt. I mean, that just gives you an idea of where the sport is going. You know, you have these younger guys who come from like wrestling backgrounds that are training with the best guys in the world, so they're picking things up at such a faster rate.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can stop guys' guard games or pass sweeping games like Gordon Ryan, you can do it to anybody in the world.
Here's a question I have. You've got a fight certification program, the first one in history, as far as I know, that you're trying to implement to kind of get guys on a certain level to make sure that they're capable of competing in MMA. 0 to fight. Right. Am I right? Now, when guys are, I guess, leveling up or at different levels in their jiu-jitsu belts, you know, is there like a uniform curriculum, or does like each coach just decide, okay, it's time for this guy to move up?
Yeah, every school's different, right? But if you're part of certain affiliations, they have guidelines to follow. But, you know, as the sport is growing, there's becoming so many more new ways of explaining techniques and how things are supposed to be perceived. Like, you know, traditionally you're taught these are the hip movements, these are the fundamental movements, these are the basic techniques, and then there's like this building block, right? But then you have certain coaches that don't believe in that. They say, okay, I don't need to teach you the techniques, I need to teach you the mechanics. Then you have other people that go, I don't need to teach you the mechanics, I need to teach you the theory. Because then, depending on how those people click with it, they might be able to pick things up at a much faster rate. Because if I say, okay, you need to spend the next 2 years working on these basic movements because this is the way it's been taught. But then you got a kid who, I've literally only taught a hip escape to and a Kimura, and a Kimura is everybody that's been training for 2 years of basics.
I see.
Because we've explained to him that this is what you do to this position.
Is this Jonathan? Who's this?
I'm just saying in general.
Oh, okay.
Like Jonathan's a great example. I've got one of our students.
Yeah.
He's been training 2 years, and now I go with him for 10-minute rounds, and I can't tap him.
Wow.
But I go with some of the best black belts in the world, and I can catch him.
Dang.
You know what I mean? But the thing is, it's because he understands mechanically where not to be.
I get it.
I might ask him to explain a certain technique, and he go, I don't get it. But that doesn't fall into his game. He doesn't need to get it.
Right. Well, I mean, I was trying to draw the parallel with 0 to fight because, man, a blue belt, I mean, that's only
Here, I got something for you.
one level up,
How
right?
about this? Tai Rutolo. Probably to you, the name means nothing. To anybody that watched ADCC, everyone knows it. 16-year-old made it to the semis of ADCC.
What division?
The same weight class as me.
Oh my God. That's terrifying.
16 years old.
That's terrifying.
Smashing through everybody. Everybody. Lost on points.
Oh my goodness. And then you told me, Gordon Ryan's only in his early 20s, right?
Gordon Ryan's brother was in it too. He's 17.
Did well?
He went 1-1.
Not bad.
I mean, you're still,
Yeah.
but they got to remember, he's won everything.
Yeah.
Destroyed everybody at the trials.
It's incredible.
My buddy, Kennedy Marcial, I was helping train for this. He took second place.
Wow.
He's 22.
Wow.
Just got his black belt, I think, last year.
Training at CMMA?
No, he trains at Cobrinha's with his father.
Oh, okay.
And Cobrinha, his dad, is probably what's considered one of the greatest of all time.
Wow. It's just incredible the amount of talent we have here in California.
Yeah.
Where would you say is like the hub for
Well,
jiu-jitsu?
San Diego and in LA for the West Coast.
Yeah. In the
You know,
East
there's a
Coast.
lot in New York and a lot in Jersey.
So this was the best ADCC you've ever seen.
It was amazing. Seth did such a phenomenal job. The production, just the specialness to it is everything that you want out of a martial arts event, and I think that's something that lacks with all the martial arts events that are happening now between MMA and kickboxing, Muay Thai, even Jiu-Jitsu. You know, it's like it's lacking, and Seth made it special. From the opening ceremonies to the closing ceremonies, it was completely special. And as an elite athlete, that's what you want to feel.
Yeah.
You want to feel that when you're at an event, that this is the pinnacle. You don't want it to feel like just another event, because then this is like, okay, there's nothing special. There's nothing that differentiates it.
Yeah.
But they're bringing back that special feeling, and I think it's really important.
One thing that I thought was amazing, just ridiculously coincidental, was the taiko drummers. I mean, that's an idea you've been telling me that should be implemented into a promotion since I met you, and they were there.
And you heard it, right?
I
Did
heard
it
it.
give it that feeling?
It did, man. It felt
it
like
makes your heart pound and your fucking skin chill.
it felt like Kumite was about to go down.
Yes.
And you didn't discuss this with them. I mean, they just did it independently of your suggestions. That's so hilarious to me, dude.
It just means that, like, I'm on to something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, listen, here's the thing. All the business stuff that I work in, all the things, like, there's one thing that I know. I know what fighters and athletes need for us to actually get to that next level as far as, like, excitement. I know what's missing in the sports. And so, like, I see things and I'm like, man, I think this will help. And then when I see the greatest event ever use it, I'm like, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. And then when it's put to use, you're like, man, that would change so much.
I mean, definitely gets you hype, man. I think those drums take you to a next level for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
What was, I guess, the biggest surprise for you of the event besides Nicky Rodriguez?
There was a lot of amazing stuff.
Gabby Garcia, by the way,
Gabby
getting
Garcia,
her fourth
four-time gold
gold medal.
world champion.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Beast.
I think the standout performance, though, was Lychin Giles. I think he fights at 77 kilos. He's Craig Jones's coach. I think he went 1-1 in his division.
Is he an Australian guy?
Yep, he's Australian.
Okay.
He got beat by JT Torres, who was ADCC champion this year again.
And he beat Wagner Roach?
He beat Wagner Roach in the finals. But Giles, man, he did the absolute division.
No.
His performance was just uncanny. It was of a legend.
That's
it was
crazy.
amazing. He submitted two of the best, biggest heavyweight black belts in the world in the absolute
Wow,
division.
man,
He took
wow.
third place as a much undersized man.
What weight class is he?
I think he competes at 77 kilos. And the entire arena just went absolutely nuts for him in support. I mean, it was David and Goliath, and
Yeah,
he just,
yeah.
man, he finished him, I think, in like a minute.
Damn, dude.
He finished Keenan Duarch, who everybody thought was going to be the challenge for Gordon Ryan in the finals.
Damn.
And Giles took him out.
And he got third place, I guess, in the absolute?
Place, yeah.
Who got second?
In the absolute, it was... Who did Gordon go against? Oh, Buchecha.
Another good guy.
Amazing. One of the best ever.
Yeah. And now it looks like Gordon Ryan's going to be going against Galvao, you
Yep,
said?
Gordon Ryan now, because he won the absolute division, can challenge the reigning champion of the super fights, which is Andre Galvao.
Wasn't he contemplating retirement though?
I think last year, but I think he's back now. He wants to prove a point now. He's only doing the ADCC super fights.
I see.
that's going to be an epic battle in 2021.
Would you be willing to give a prediction?
Yeah. Galval is one of the greatest of all time. And I think when Gordon Ryan beats him,
Damn.
he will be considered the best ever.
Is Ryan a bigger guy?
I think he's actually going to be smaller than Galval, but
Wow.
as far as weight-wise, but I think they're actually, take it back, they might be comparable.
Yeah. So speaking of bigger guys, this is something that, I haven't really, obviously I'm into the striking thing. We're a striking promotion. We cover MMA and boxing, but I haven't heard so much about a grappling event. So I think that, that proves your point that this was such a great event. And a lot of the stuff I've been hearing has been kind of controversial. And one of the things is, some people are saying, man, a lot of these guys would piss hot if there was there's no testing for this?
No, there's no testing for ADCC.
Oh,
you know,
man.
it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
It's like,
Do you think that's okay?
I don't know, everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
What's up, Marco?
What's up, Cruzat?
We have Marco Cruzat in the house.
In the house, brother. Another black belt.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Like if people are gonna take stuff, they're gonna take it. You know, it is what it is.
It's a very strength. Strength is an important part of it, though,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's another thing I wanted to ask you. With this blue belt kind of running amok and tapping out or beating black belts, how much do physical attributes play into this sport?
I mean, physical attributes play a lot into it.
Yeah.
But at the highest level, it's like you have to understand mechanically. I can't put this here. This goes here. I have to understand where this line is. So it gets you so far. But at the elite level, I mean, you do need to have a very fine level of understanding of proper techniques as well.
Okay, and it seems that a lot of the, I guess the bigger guys, or rather the wrestlers, it seems that the people with a wrestling base tend to do well. I mean, is that
Of course,
something
yeah.
that's...
Well, I mean, wrestling's grappling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And at the highest level of wrestling, there's a lot of like, I guess you could say submission tight holds, things trying to get somebody to their back. You know, so they're easy to manipulate if you're teaching them fundamentally like what they need to do in positions.
Okay, well, so you really enjoyed this event.
I thought it was amazing.
You are, a big timer in the jiu-jitsu world, combat jiu-jitsu world champion, among other things. Did it make you want to compete?
Every ADCC makes me want to compete.
But you've not done it
I
yet.
haven't done it yet. I will be doing the trials for the next one.
Okay. And when is that going down?
The trials, they haven't set the dates yet, but it'll be next year.
Yeah.
And the next ADCC will be 2021.
And where will that be?
I don't know
Do you
yet.
know? Okay. Well, we look forward to seeing you there. I'll actually definitely, I think I'll definitely show up and support. And I really appreciate your time, Chad. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, not really. Just keep supporting all the martial arts. Jiu-jitsu's on the rise. Stay tuned.
Oh, before I let you go, you guys won the Lions Cup at Fighters Rep.
Did we?
You're supposed to be a grappling school. And the most hilarious line is, that came from you was, not bad for a grappling school. I mean, how do you feel about winning the Lions Cup? We're working with some of the best, I think the best striking gyms probably in the nation here in California, and a lot of them are represented at these shows. How did you feel taking your team to an all-striking event and winning first place?
I think it's pretty rad. It's just a testament to the coaching staff that we're building and the guys that we have. I use striking and even our jiu-jitsu tournaments for my guys that want to make careers in MMA, and I make them compete in all of these that way so it can be applicable for their career that they're wanting to use. And if they want to become world champions in MMA, they're going to have to beat elite strikers. They're going to have to beat elite grapplers. They have to be comparable on every level of the game. And so to see them winning jiu-jitsu tournaments, to see us winning Muay Thai kickboxing tournaments, it means we're on the right track.
Yeah, well, congrats on that, man. I was, obviously very impressed. I mean, we had a lot of teams represented there. The first team that won was Sit Yod Tong at the first team-based event, which is a big-time school, and now CMMA. So, I mean, those are the only two schools that have won.
Pretty cool.
Fighters Rep 9, December 21st. We'll see what happens. Can you tell the public to subscribe? Because they'll listen to you before they'll listen to me.
Subscribe to Fighters Rep.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated, Chad. Have a great one, my man.
Click the link below for your official Fighters Rep merchandise and join Knucklehead Nation.